Hello YouTubers, hello Starfield players, welcome back. Redis here. You can see Bosco sticking out the bottom of the ship there, so it gives you an idea of the scale of this ship build. I went and I modified one of my existing ships and I just logged back in. Everything is where I want it to be except for the view, which is like, it's taking up my whole screen. Unfortunately, this is a bug that we all have to deal with. But I'll show you how to fix it because this is a bit ridiculous. In order to go and fix that, because it's going to be a thing, you basically just got to go into the ship modifier screen here, ship builder. Then you take something like, oh, I don't know, like this here. Delete that. Put that back. So I've just done one thing, right? Exit, accept. I believe it has to be one of the original pieces. But this layout, you can see that the Daemog doesn't go flinging off into somewhere on the base. It actually lands in a good spot. And the reason it does is because I think this front lip, it kind of lines up. See how it pokes way out at the front here? Because when I go to the back, it doesn't actually go all the way to the back. Right? You can see that it's about midway through. So by having these arms out front, or if you have like I don't know, a saucer section over the front, then that will help push it back. What do you think, Bosco? Like having some friends around? So this thing, it makes a lot of noise. You can just turn it off. And as far as the ship goes, so we'll do a quick tour. Okay, so in order to explain how this ship works, you can only use the two side doors. So it's like the middle door on either side. But then you go up a ramp, up a ramp, over, through a passageway, over, up a ramp, over, up a ramp, and into here. This one is the Daratech Kentucky Bridge, and it has a rear entrance. And that makes it great for being up at the front here and being able to see. And that way you don't have to climb up into it using a ladder and just run up in there. You know what? We should color it. You want to color it? I'm going to black it out first. Let's take a look at it. So it's still... Okay, so it's a black silver. So even the inside gets changed over too. Looks like some of the vehicles switched. So I'm going to use Gravis colors. So the colors are actually in the yellow. And I'm just going to grab all this area here. And I'm going to change it to very dark. I'll accept that. I guess the Gravis suit is more gray tones, not these beige tones. But it's fine, looks good, matches the Daemog, right? Yeah, I guess it's like a white, black, and a gold. Oh well. But this one's more of a beige tone. Not quite the match. But I guess I had too much color. So let's go into the ship and I'll do the tour.
Might not be Jemison, but this ship is starting to feel like home.
Okay, so we've got a nice picture over here of a mountain as we come in. This is also the Daymog. Well, vehicle bay. Set of stairs right there. Over here we have Sarah's room. Over here we have a spare room. Free room. Then we'll go upstairs. We have the warp core and then the door to the rest of the warp core room. Then we come into here, which is the maroon mess hall. And the maroon mess hall has a hacker hab, which then has the viewing lounge or viewing area, which I just made in the front here. That's it. It's just a viewing area. And over here we have the bank, gal bank, and then this takes you back downstairs to the other side of the ship where we have this room along with the brig, and this is a control room. This is a bathroom, and the bathroom has a shower and everything, lots of towels. And over here we have the gym, along with a picture of Arnold on the back wall. And we have the sleeping quarters. So that's more for like a good crew area. And then yeah, you go back downstairs and you end up out in the bay. So that's the other way to get into the ship. So I'll go back up here and I'll go through here so you can see I'm kind of, that's the front of the ship over there. And over here we have just a crew compartment, and there's nothing else other than just the crew compartment. Come up here and we have a full meeting room, and you can open up the roof and you can put a fire on over here. So the roof just opened up, and so you can see out the stars, Milky Way. Now if I was to go back down over there, so let's just open this door, because back here we have the way to the space stations as well as an armory. And a nice window. Over here we go back down to here where we have a crew quarters. Cross back to this room here. Getting a bit confusing, I know. Okay, so this is a this is the hospital. So it starts out with like a little workout room, and then we have the hospital with a window, and there's another one on the other side. The window. So there's this whole section here. Okay, so actually we want to go upstairs and take a look at the upper floor. So in the upper floor we have basically just the entrance to, okay, wait, so, oh yeah, this is a mistake because the bed's gone. This is the captain's quarters, but I have it in a bad spot. I'm gonna have to move it to somewhere else in the ship, swap out a part, right? Because that one's the armory. And then up here is the bridge, and it's a cool bridge too. Come in, right? Nice and open, lots of seats, great view. Well, we'll have to go for a rip.
Takeoff looks good.
I'm just laughing because Vasco's sticking out the bottom. There, so now the ship's at least in a better view, right? It was like right up close earlier. There you can see the oversized garage. Pretty much takes up a very large portion of the ship. I think that's a nice ship, right? Looks good. As far as weapons go, everything is auto turrets on this thing right now.
Grav jump complete.
And the consequence of that is that I can't shoot. I can't even shoot asteroids. But, as you can see,
Enemy's grav drive. Enemy's shield system is offline.
there's one benefit. Anyway, that's the weapon system. So you want to build this ship? Let's do a ship build. So the way I do my ship builds is I'll go and I'll delete everything right down to the bottom, and then I will Control Z until it's rebuilt again. Alright, now we're gonna do the ship build. I realize why this is so big, this ramp. It's because it's the door. So even though it's like flush here, this sticks down underneath. You needed to do that in order to be able to close the door. So we're gonna start with the NG-20 landing gear, and I've got 8 of them. One of them's missing here. We're gonna add in the Hope X hangar, and we're also using the Deimos wing parts over here. So we're gonna build up the back. So the back has Stroud cap AZ-90 starboard aft bottom, and another one. Then we have the Stroud nose cap D, another one, starboard top aft, and then we're adding the engines, the Avon Warp 2 aft engines, and we're sandwiching it between these parts here. Another warp engine, and then there'll be a third one that pops in, but it's in here somewhere. Just adding the NG-20, and then there's a Nova Cowling 2LBA, both in the front, and we're just doing that on both sides. So that makes up the landing gear, as well as the PBO 300 auto alpha turret mount, facing out to either side. I believe it's this one over here, the Deimos wing port. So this is making kind of like the claws or the arms using Nova Cowling. For the hauler cargo hold. And then we have the galleon. Another galleon. So a whole row of galleons. And on the other side we do the same thing. With the hauler cargo hold. And then this one is the grav drive, a galleon, and then I put in engine bracer, so 2 engine bracers and a cargo galleon. Next is the, right here, ramp A ports on starboard one and the port one. And we've got the Nova Cowling, which I use to wrap around each of the sides. So this is making the front piece here. So there's a Deimos wing. It's coming up, along with the Nova Cowling and another galleon. Added a bathroom, the SPE bathroom, along with the SPE brig. And then back here we have the gym and the crew dormitory and then the battle station. So that's the first floor really. So you can see that there's a galleon there, there's a Nova cowling. You have that one small piece, the Deimos Wing Seaport. You get that out a little bit further. Then we have the cowling that goes around the outside edge. Now we are adding, I believe it was these galleons. So the galleons are more vertical because we have an all-in-one berth and we have a Sarah's room 4, the one that is attached to the Trident workshop hangar. So the Trident workshop hangar, so that leaves that bay open. That's why I have the engine bracers underneath there. So next is these parts right here. I've got a Nova Cowling 1 LSF and then the M30 Ulysses H like helium-3 tank. That's the gas tank right there. And we have the same on the opposite side, right over here. Cowling, gas tank, cowling. So now I'm adding the cross passage B and I believe the ramp A port and ramp A starboard. Okay, yeah, so now it's the front pieces here. So right here, so we've got the Deimos wing. I don't know why it's lagging, but it's lagging. It doesn't usually do this. Got the hauler cargo hold on the top here to kind of sandwich that stack of cargo. Then I've got the Owltech med bay, and behind the med bay is a crew quarters. Over here is an all-in-one berth attached onto another all-in-one berth. You know what? I think it's missing the door there. I'll have to double check that. And now we're on to the front here. So this is the cross passage. Now I left the portholes and they're all in there. I'm not gonna go over that. But we have the SPE X-Hab along with both the cross passages just for the viewing deck. That's the viewing deck out front. Then we have a nose cap back here in order to finish up this area here. We're going to add in a Owltech vault, the Owltech hacker hab, Owltech Type 7 warp core reactor with 100 power generation, and the Varun mess hall. Next is the SPE ramp A port. Goes up to the next floor. And we're also putting on the Nova cowling weapon mount. So there's the weapon mount on both sides. Oh, I know what that was. That was the engine. So the last engine popped in, and so did the Stroud cap. So I put the Stroud cap in the front as well. So next is the Varun captain's quarters, one that is in the wrong spot. The Varun armory and the SPE mess hall. Okay, yeah, so that was the weapon mount and the equipment plate and the obliterator. Extender port 200 Docker top and the Assurance SG 1800 shield generator, along with the SPE ramp A aft, and to finish it off with the Daratech Kentucky B 700 bridge. And that's it. Okay. So there is 2 issues. One is the all-in-one berth. I don't think it has a door, which it doesn't. And then the maroon captain's quarters, it needs to be right. So fore and aft. So we want the aft. It means I could put windows in here. Anyway, we'll go and check it out. Let's run in and take a look. So I guess the one side, all we need to look at is whether that door worked. Yeah, I think it was right here. This is the door. There we go. So we have access to this living quarters here. And then there's the captain's quarters right over here. Nice little couch. Comfy bed. And a proper bathroom. Very nice. Yeah, that's great. Nice. You know what? I could use a nap. Image is everything. Yeah, that's nice. Right, Sarah? She likes it. Okay. Well, alright, YouTubers. Well, thanks for liking and subscribing. Thanks for checking out my site, checking out my videos. I'm back for more Starfield action, excitement, and new ship parts, builds.
Require my assistance.
Just, you know, everything. Starfield.